Okay, we got everybody muted out. This is Jeff Gamble out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and every single Tuesday we actually do our open house. Now, the purpose of the open house is to basically give you some information on what it is we're doing. So if you run into the right person, you have the ability to refer them to us. So this is more about education than anything. If you do happen to see an opportunity for yourself, great. Get back with the person who brought you here and they can get you the link and get you all registered and everything. So, why am I doing this open house? Well, just kind of a little bit of background. My name is Jeff Gamble. I am a traditional naturopathic doctor from Indianapolis. We actually own, Brandy and I own several traditional businesses, 317 Holistic Health. We have about a dozen people total working with us. That's where we do Reiki, massage, and health and wellness coaching. We also own a real estate company and are real estate investors, just looking at two more properties about an hour south of us, close to you guys, Dave. That are pretty interesting. One sits on 5 acres. Another one's about a 7,500 square foot multi-use building that we're kind of taking a look at. And then my leadership network is actually a training company that teaches people how to do four things, main four things, which is recruiting, team building, event building, and then growth and achievement. It's a coaching certification program that anybody can use to build their current direct sales business. So I've been in the direct sales industry for over 30 years. And I say that because we got a lot of stuff going on, obviously. Why would I look at an opportunity like this? Typically, I don't look at anything that doesn't have long-term potential. To make an extra 500 or $1,000, I really don't have an interest in that. Something has to catch my attention where I can build it past $10,000 for me to even look at it. And $10,000 in a short period of time, because the older we get, the less time we have, right? So things need to happen. I don't have 25 years to see if something's going to work or not, and this has proven itself over and over and over again, and history shows that. So we'll go into that. So what we're going to do tonight is 6 areas to evaluate. We're going to evaluate the company. Who is that? Are they solid? How long they've been around? We're going to go over the need. What are people really looking for? Does this solve a need? The market itself, where can you market this product? What are the products we actually market? The compensation, and then the timing. So we're going to hit all these real quick. First of all, the company. It's located in Sarasota, Florida. Keith and Christy are the owners. And here's what I like about them. They started in the field as sales reps. Some people don't know this. They started selling first in another company, different products, and they learned about direct sales and network marketing. They actually had some success. From that point, there was a new company that was launching. They decided to join that company, and eventually Keith became part of the corporate team, and Christy became part of the customer service team. It had two owners, that particular company, and that company decided to kind of split into two companies, and they went with one of the owners, and Keith became head of acquisitions, and Christy ended up becoming the head of customer service. After doing that for a while, nothing happened that was wrong. They just made a decision. They said, hey, now that we know how to do this, what if we did this on our own? What if we did this on a level that everybody could participate, where it's not something that's super expensive to get into, where it's not something that, a lot of people can't participate in. They wanted something that everybody could participate in, and they had this idea. So they decided to launch in May 1st of 2019. They launched Quicksilver. So we've been expanding into 29 different countries, and we say we're ground floor. And here's the reason we say we're ground floor is there are less than 7,000 sales reps in all 29 countries, including the United States. So if you want to make a mark, this would be a good place to do it. If you want to stand out, if you want to be the guru, there's plenty of room to grow. Aaliyah just joined us from Texas. Cool. So what is the need? I believe there's 5 needs. I have 4 of them listed here. The first one is the need to make more money. I think we can agree, everybody would agree, nobody would disagree, that people right now are looking for a way to make extra money or more money. You've got Uber, you've got Lyft, you've got Uber Eats, you have these delivery systems. People are looking to work from home and work from their computer, and that's kind of what I was looking for. Is I was looking for a way to generate some not some extra money, but I was looking to build something that I could build from anywhere, that I could use a cell phone, and more money was definitely on my mind. Next is the ability to have more time or buy back your time. I wasn't looking to replace 50, 60 hours with 50, 60 hours. I was like, how can I do this where I can replace 50, 60 hours for 5 or 6 hours? That's what I was looking for. And I saw that with this opportunity. Next is the ability to create more security. Obviously, people are looking for that security because, right now, jobs, careers are
Remember,
questionable.
Jeff?
Yo, not just questionable because of what's happening, James. Not just questionable because of what's going on, politically or what's going on economically, but I think the real question is looking at AI, how many of these jobs and careers are actually going to be around? If you look at some of the gurus in the industry that are building robots, that are building this AI tech, they're like, look, 80% of all the jobs we know of are going to be gone. 80%. And they're talking about doing that in the next 10 years. So it's kind of a scary thing, but it's also a great opportunity. So you have to look at, hey, is this really going to exist? And last but not least, if you have money and you have time and you have security, the ability to contribute and help other people, what else is there to do? Right? I mean, that's what it's about. The last one that's not listed here is I think people are looking to have fun and be entertained. Obviously, there's things like TikTok, there's things like Instagram, and people spend an enormous amount of time on these platforms. Why? Because it's fun. It's entertaining. You get to learn something. It's something new, You scroll, scroll, scroll. That's why Netflix and, Amazon Prime have all the viewers. So, we're always looking to do that as well. So we'll try to have fun tonight. The market. So we've got, I mean, pretty much a little bit of everything, but mainly these are places where mints and silver and gold are necessarily prominent and they all agree upon each other. What's not here, if you look at this list, what's not here is all of South America. All of South America is still wide open. No, it hasn't even been something we've touched yet. If you look, all of Africa is open. Those are two gigantic marketplaces, but we do have, Aruba, Australia, Bahamas, Bermuda, Canada, Denmark, most of what's Britain's conquered here. Yeah. We've got England, Scotland, Wales, United Kingdom, Trinidad. So you can build in all these different countries currently. And like I said, there's less than 7,000 people involved in this. So what are the products? I had gold, silver, and copper, but right now copper is completely sold out everywhere. And I don't know when it's going to be back on our website. So I just said silver and gold just to make it easy. You can get both 1 ounce coins, or like you can see here, it's fractional gold. So you can buy 1/100th because I believe gold just topped $4,600 an ounce. I caramba. I remember last year looking at a bar of gold that was being sold in Costco. Costco is selling 1 ounce bars of gold. It was $2,400 when I looked at it last year. Now it's $4,600. But what is the flagship product here? The flagship product, obviously, Quicksilver. Silver is the flagship product, and specifically 1 ounce, 99% government silver bullion. Now, here was my problem. When I first looked at silver and gold, I actually learned about it through a book and a speaker called Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki said, hey, look, you should put your money in things that are long term. Gold, silver, real estate, those things are long term. But what I didn't know what to do is when I started looking at silver and gold, specifically silver had collectible things, and silver had these government issue things, and it had numismatic coins. And I was just like, I don't know the difference between any of this. So what did I do? A confused mind does nothing. I said, hey, I'll get back to it. And I left it. And I looked at the price. I remember when I first looked at it, it was like $21 an ounce. I kicked myself 30 times. Because of that. But let's look at the history. Let's look at the history of silver, or the spot price. The spot price is what it goes for daily. In 1970, the year 1970, that year it went for $1.83. How many people wish they would have go back in time and had $100 and just rock that out? Especially $100 a month, you would be sitting in a very cool place. 1975, it was $4. In 1980, it jumped drastically to 21, and then fell back. There's a whole story behind that. There was a lot of shorting and overprinting of stuff. 1985, 6, 4, 5. It goes up and down here. $2004. Now, here's what I learned 18 years ago. 18 years ago, JP Morgan went in and bought 750 million ounces of silver. Let me repeat that. JP Morgan bought 750 million ounces of silver back in, it was 18 years ago. So what was that? 19 or 2003, oh 03, right? Now, why did they do that? Or was it oh 03 or oh 07? Oh 07. What they did is they conspired with other banks to short the silver market. So what they did is they started printing a bunch of paper and selling the paper version of silver, not the actual supply of silver. The problem became one of the reasons it's rising so fast right now is because the banks all shorted it, and now that it's past $75, all of those margin calls are being called due. So banks are scrambling. And the need for silver went through the roof, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But look, $20, $15, $20. 2005, 2005, it exploded. And here's why. In 2005, silver increased 147.7%. This was both Google and ChatGPT's percentage number of what it said it increased. The current spot price of silver, and here's the thing, it's changing. It's going up so fast that I made this yesterday, and it's already jumped another what 5, 6, 7%. It went from about 80, mid 80s yesterday, all the way up to 89. I have not seen it cross 90 yet. Text me and let me know if it's crossed 90. I don't think it's crossed 90 yet, but it's sitting right there at the margin. Now, guy by the name of Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon, you want to follow that name. Jamie Dimon, who's the CFO of JP Morgan, said that because they sit on 750 million ounces of silver and the fact that they printed way too much of this in the ETF market and stuff like that, and demand has over 120, over 120%. That silver is expected. This is him and JP Morgan just put this out. It's expected to go somewhere between 150 and $300 within the next 24 months. That guys, that's significant. Like if you can double your money and know that it's coming, that'd be a good place to play, right? So 6 reasons why silver. The first one is it's industrial. Did you know Warren Buffett will not buy gold and has never bought gold, but what he has bought is silver. And he said the reason being is silver has industrial use and gold does not. Gold basically gets made into really cool jewelry. And then when, people get in trouble, they sell it, it gets melted down, and then it gets made into really cool jewelry. He goes, it's kind of a recycle thing. He goes, but silver is actually used for industrial use. And we'll talk about that. And I'll show you that on the next page. It's valuable, obviously. I think it's cool when you hand somebody a 1 ounce silver coin. It has like a treasure effect. Several people that I've shared this with that have actually bought, when they get their silver in the mail, they open it up and they all text me and they're like, wow, this is so cool. I've never actually held what they call real money in my hand. It's tangible, something you can put in your hand and transportable. I can, take it with me. Transferable, I can hand it to somebody else that fast and transfer it to somebody else. And it's economical, still under $100. If it's under $100, it means anybody with a job, even a part-time job, could participate in what we're doing. So the industrial uses of silver. Number one, medical. It's used in bandages and catheters. It's used in water purification. Here's the big one, electronics. All computers, all cell phones, all cameras, anything that has a screen has silver in it. Do you think we're printing less cell phones or more cell phones? Do you think we're making more TVs or less TVs? Do you think there's more TVs in cars or less TVs in cars, along with everywhere? They're talking about putting a screen on your refrigerator so that way you can type in what it's missing and it'll send it through the internet and order it for you. That's crazy. But it's coming. Now, here's another thing it's used in that I don't even have here. I didn't realize silver is used in lithium batteries. It's a connector, which is what it says here at the bottom. It's the best metal conductor of electricity because it doesn't corrode. So all of electronics, which is kind of cool. So anytime you have any electronic, that electronic probably has silver in it somewhere. So don't throw away your old electronics. That junk now is worth a bunch of money, if you know what to do. So why do we buy from why did I buy from Quicksilver? Should have been what I said. Number one, security. I realized Quicksilver does the research. They have people on their corporate team that does the research, and they buy from specific mints, government mints. And the field has experts. So the people actually involved have expertise. Some of them are collectors. So my point is who would be the first one who would raise a red flag and say, "Hey, this isn't real. It's not pure." It would be a collector. It would be people involved. So that gave me a lot of, I guess, security that I was buying something that I knew was the right thing versus going to a pawn shop or your local silver gold dealer. I don't know what the heck I'm buying. I don't have the device that shows me what percentage of silver's and stuff. I wanted to buy something I knew was the real thing. Next is the opportunity. Silver pays you to refer. I mean, what is this all about? This is a place to get silver and it's a place where you can refer. And here's what I know. Online shops and local shops will never pay you to refer customers to them. Never. So I was looking for a way to participate. I was like, man, if I'm going to share a good thing, it'd be nice to get paid, right? So the compensation, real quick, there's no guarantee of income because I don't know if you'll do the work. You are an independent contractor, so you're responsible for all of that stuff. Work and results, there's no set hours, no set schedules, no set quotas. You do it when you want to do it, how you want to do it. There are educational resources and support available, but that is not required. Risk of loss, just like starting your own business, you have to do your own due diligence. I mean, it'd be weird. I don't know what the heck you buy for a loss, but um, you figure that out. Compliance wise, we will comply with all the laws and disclosures of stuff going on. So here's kind of how this works. Um, the compensation, there's a bunch of different ways to get paid, and I just want to hit each one of these very, very quickly because it's not that complicated. The first one is just direct commissions. Anytime somebody orders from your website, this is a website you get by being a rep. Anybody orders from this, you get two things. You get a commission, a direct commission, because there is a small margin on the products. And I say small margin because they're buying in bulk, but when you're buying precious metals and the price is going up and down, there's very small margins. The second thing is you're going to get points, and the points rack up, and you get commissions off the points as well. So you get a dollar commission from the margin. You also get points, which is very cool. Um, Customer acquisition bonus. So if somebody decides they want to go on our auto wealth system, the auto wealth system is basically this. We know you're going to forget, so we're going to put it on a monthly order so that way you don't forget. How many people have ever forgotten to do something before? There's so much stuff going on. We forget to do all kinds of stuff. I forget to do the dishes. My wife, my girlfriend, fiance says, "Oh, you forgot to do the dishes. Forget to take out the trash." I didn't want to chance. I didn't want to chance missing buying the silver every month. So I just went on this auto, and you can change the auto well system from 1 to 4 or 10 coins. You get in where you fit in, and you can change that at any time. You get a dollar per coin the very first month it goes through. It's just an extra thing. Are you going to make a ton of money from that? No, but if you're signing up a couple people and a couple dollars every month, that adds up. And here's what it did for me. It added up to free coins. I was able to get some free coins because of that bonus. The compensation. Okay, so this is the challenge bonuses. So what they did is there's actually two packs. I don't have the other pack here. I specifically like the display case. The display case, if you happen to buy this particular challenge pack, it doubles your bonuses. So you go from $20 to $40, and it's an additional 40 points that go into the system. The points are what rack up and you get commissions off of. So you can see here, this is a 7 level payout just for the bonuses. Just for this bonus alone, starting at $40. If somebody just beneath you buys one, you get 10. 3 levels down, $10, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7, you get a $5 override. It doesn't sound like much, but I've got a good friend just off of these bonuses alone made over $10,000 in 1 month just because of these bonuses. So yes, you can make a lot of money with, $40, $50 at a time. Then we have the wealth cycle. So this is quote unquote the residual income. So number one, you have to have personal points. You personally have to be doing a certain amount of points to be able to get that. It starts out at 10. So what that means is you have to have at least one coin or 10 points going through the system every single month to get the residual income. Personally referred points and then team points. So here's how this works.
Hey
Uh,
Jeff,
yes.
sorry to bother you for a second. Can you go back to the slide that you were on beforehand with the compensation just for like 1 second, if you don't mind?
Which one? This one.
The one that before that one.
This one. The bonus chart.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to look at it for a second. Okay, you're good. I'm sorry. I
No worries. No
apologize.
worries.
I'll shut up.
No worries. Where do we go? Okay. So you have at least 10 personal points. So we said this, you sign up as an ambassador, you have at least 10 points in the system, and to refer and maintain at least one coin. That's how you are in and active. So in as an ambassador, 10 points to be active in the system. Pretty simple. In fact, I don't know of anything that's simpler in the market. So if you want to make residual, here's how it works. You're doing 10 points and you have to rack up 100 points on the left and 100 points on the right. Here's how simple it is. It's 10 points or 10 coins on the left and 10 coins on the right. It doesn't matter if one person like Dave Roeder is ordering 10 coins and then 10 other people are ordering one coin. Any combination of that. And we just said that if you order one of the display cases, that's 40 points. So two display cases and two coins, you're there. You have 100 points on either side. It releases a $10 commission. Now, these are all the different levels in the company. As you can see, up to level 6, you only need 10 points personally. So this is personal points that you rack up. When you hit, if to get to level 7, so that way you get more of these cycles that pay out at $10, you have to have two coins. And then it really changes at level 14, which is actually the level I just hit. You have to have at least 4 coins a month coming through the system. So obviously, if you've built up to this point, you should have commissions coming through, paying for, listen to me, if you share this with enough people, the people who are also buying, the residual income is now paying for your auto wealth order. How many people would love to have free silver every month? That's the idea is I'm just sharing this with people. Honestly, I'm not even sharing with people as a way to build a business. I'm just sharing it as a way to start collecting silver because the silver is the most important part of this entire thing. Um, and then there's these high bonuses, monthly leadership bonuses. If you go nuts and you refer it to a ton of people and build a huge team, $500 to $5,000 bonuses on top of that. So this is just an example. That's all it is. It's an example. It's assuming that each person is doing 100 points. Now, whether you're doing 100 points because you have customers or whether you're doing 100 points because you have a group of family that all said, hey, let's buy 10 coins. So this is 10 coins on the left and 10 coins on the right, $10. When you get to 20 coins and 20 coins, it's $20. 40 and 40 is $40, and so on and so forth, all the way up the chart. You'd have to have a ton of coins going through. So this is where you open a country or a country, you end up recruiting somebody overseas and they build out and put 10,000 people on their team. You can max out this. This is just the residual part of the comp plan at 20,000, which doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, we're talking about a very, very, very small margin on these coins, a quarter, 50 cents, a dollar. Um, Now, here's what's great. I asked this question. I said, well, what happens if you max out the system? They said, all you have to do is recruit yourself into your own business and you can start over again and build another two teams to 20,000. You can do that as many times as you want. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is probably right now. The best time to get involved in Quicksilver would have been in 2019. Right now, I don't know of anybody that has a time machine. If you do, you call me. We're going to go back. We're going to buy Bitcoin and Apple and Nvidia and all of that. But unless you do, the second best time is right now. I had somebody say, well, silver's increased so much. Why would you still buy it now? I said, you know what? People said that when Bitcoin hit 5,000. Does anybody remember when Bitcoin hit 5,000 and everybody said it will never hit 10? And then it hit 10 and said this will never hit 25. And then it hit 25 and it'll never hit 50. It'll never hit 100. What did it get up to? 130, 132, 133? And people are still saying it's going to hit a quarter of a million. It's going to hit $1 million. So you might buy in at the top. It's still going to go up. Jamie Dimon, which is pretty credible. The CFO of JP Morgan says we're expecting somewhere between 150 and 300. Can I guarantee that? No, I'm not Jamie Dimon. and I don't have 750 million ounces of silver. If I did, I would have skipped this meeting tonight and y'all could have figured it out on your own. I mean, 750, well, I don't know what that is, but it's a lot of money is what that's worth. So how do you get started in this? This is simple. It's $10 a month for your website. That's what makes you an ambassador. It's 10 bucks. Now, if you decide to do the challenge bonus, you skip the $10, you pay 139 the first month and then 9.95 every month after that to hold your website together. And then you choose how many coins you start stacking, whether it's one, two, four, or 10. They do have a pack that's big for your first order. They do have 16 coins to start out with. I think one person I've shown it to has done that, but everybody else does somewhere between 1 and 10 coins. Can you change? Can you change your wealth auto order? Yes, at any time. You can go from 2 to 4. You can also go from 4 to 1. It just whatever fits your budget. It takes at least one coin a month to stay in the system active to receive the bonuses. So that's a pretty simple idea. 10 bucks a month and one coin. You're all in, vetted, ready to go. So what do you do from here? If you want to get started, you basically set up a game plan. You want to do that ASAP so that way you know what to do and how to do and what to say. You get plugged into our events. We have events going on every Tuesday, every Sunday. You get a ticket to the next mastermind. We're holding a mastermind at the end of the month, the 31st. That's on a Saturday. We're just going to show you how to reach out to people, what to do, what to say, how it works. You want to get paid and promoted immediately, and then you want to repeat and teach this process. It's pretty simple. I just show people the coin. I think there's actually one or two people on here that here's how I reached out to them. I said, "Hey, do you know of anyone? I have a quick question. Do you know of anyone who buys or collects silver?" That's how I've reached out to people. And I'll get one of three answers. Yes, what are you talking about? And then I send them the information. They say, no, but I've always wanted to buy silver. I said, great. I started doing it, and here's how I'm doing it. I just wanted to let you know about it. And then the last person I get is, no, I don't collect silver. I have no interest. I said, cool. Can you do me a huge favor? I want to share what I am doing with silver. So if you run into the right person, you can refer them to me. And I've already gotten referrals because we're not marketing something that people don't know what it is. When you say, "Hey, what do you market?" We market silver and gold. The majority of the time, people say, "Well, is it something that's tangible, or are you marketing stock?" A lot of people think stock. I'm like, no, this is tangible. I got a couple coins over here that I just got in a shipment. So this is an idea of what we're actually marketing and giving away. If you can see, where am I? I'm not even on the screen. Oh, there we go. So this is one of the decorative coins. They have different stuff printed on them. Yes, some of them have gotten extremely popular. Obviously, silver eagles go for, anywhere around $10 more is what I've seen. Certain years they'll go for $10 more than what they actually were printed. That's just because of the market. Does it mean the silver is worth more? No, it just means the appeal is worth more. I also bought a collector's coin. I realized when Queen Elizabeth died, they made a commemorative coin of her and King Charles. And I just thought to myself, you know what? In 20 years, somebody's going to want that coin because, they want to commemorate or, they remember that particular time or year. I bought the coin. I want to say it was the coin was like 100 something dollars. And I looked on eBay the next week and it was already up to 300 because it was a limited mint. So I'm not doing this because of the collectability of stuff. I'm doing it because of the long-term value of it, but that's just how it works. So, with all that being said, I said at the very beginning, the reason we're sharing this with you is so if you run into the right person, you can refer them to us. Now that you know what we do, that's what we hope. Is how and where we're doing this. Get back with the person who brought you here, and we can share that with you. But what I do want to do is I want to open this up to anybody if you do have any quick question and or just kind of what you liked best about it. Does anybody have anything that they want to go over, share, say before we close up here? Going once. James.
Jeff, hey, I want to ask a question.
Yep.
So, on the game plan is where you get started. Is that where like the website stuff comes into play? You start getting your, obviously, you get all your purchases done and all that, and then you get your website going and you get all that. Is that automated, or how does that work?
It's pretty automated. I mean, once you plug in, once you log in, you have a back office just like any direct sales company that has here's your membership shot, here's your back office, here's your business tools, here's what your team looks like. Because it's a binary, and the only reason I'm being this detailed is James has been involved in direct sales and network marketing before. It's a binary, so you have two teams. So we're in the process of building one leg straight down.
Mm-hmm.
The last I looked, I was at number 20, 21 or 22 personal straight down that leg. And I'm just driving it 100 levels deep because I got in with a big leader and
Mm-hmm.
he was already building. So there were about 360, 70 people on one side already.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're just blowing out the other side as fast as possible. And then when I get 100 levels deep, I really need to put some people on the other side to, make it pop on both sides.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's the monthly fees that go along with that?
I mean, it's $10 a month to run the business. That's everything. They do have some marketing plan that you can buy. I don't know if it's $10 or $20 or something. I decided not to do it because I kind of had my own marketing plan. But some people do that, and it's got like a funnel and a replicated website and all that. But I mean, the simple text message of, hey, quick question, do you know of anybody buying gold and silver? Because it's so much in the news right now, and it's on TikTok, it's on Facebook. I mean, the minute you mention it to them, it's going to pop up in their feed every 3 minutes. So I don't feel I need to spend an extra $20 on anything. So it's $10 a month plus one coin minimum.
Okay.
Spot
And then
price
the
of the
coin
coin,
price is the $85 for the coin.
roughly. I mean, right now, I mean, I'm just going to look on the website and I'll tell you
Mhm.
exactly what the auto ship was. I say auto ship because that's the word that I know.
And I'll ask you more on
Friday.
but and get more into detail with what's going on so I can see
Yeah.
how I can get going with this process. I've always wanted myself to collect silver. My brother used to collect silver when he was around, and I want to kind of see what that's like and have something real tangible in my hand instead of always trying to do investments and do this or do that. I don't do lottery tickets or anything like that. I don't like wasting my money, so I like to put my money where it's safe, and I feel like silver and gold is always going to be a safe bet.
Yep.
And I think it's a really good opportunity. You showed it to me a long while back, and I kind of was super busy at the time, going 90 million different directions. And I kind of want to sit down with you and really dive in to see what's going on with it, how can we benefit from it, and what you're doing and how you're doing this model.
Yeah, absolutely. James Vance. So I'm sending you the auto ship choices. I just took a picture of the back office. Being that it just hit like it's on the edge of $90 the last I looked. It says a one coin delivery is 95. Four coin delivery is 383. And then if you get all 10, if you get 10, it's 959.
Okay.
So they
And
have
that
a
before you buy it, just jumps it up, right?
Well, they
Faster.
have, yeah, they're going to have a little bit of a premium on it because obviously they have no idea. I mean, they could buy it and by the time it's shipped to them, it could be $3 different. So they have a margin that they're, having to run off of.
Right. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna check this out more and probably pick your brain on when we go to dinner. But
Yeah, absolutely. We'll grab food and just talk about it. I can draw it out. All right,
cool.
that sounds good. Anybody else? Anybody else have anything? Okay, if not, we're going to wrap this up like a burrito. I appreciate everybody for jumping on. Look forward to seeing you on Friday, James, and talking to everybody else real soon. Dave, I will get back to you. Every single Tuesday, we do this open house. We try to keep it to about 30-ish minutes. So that way you can plan on it and we'll spend a couple minutes afterwards. But 30 minutes is going to be the presentation. So I appreciate everybody for joining us. And until next time, I will see you on the training this Sunday, and I will